And the truth of that is, I'm human. I still made some of the same mistakes that I made in my first marriage, in this marriage. Meaning, sometimes not taking the time to just sit your ass still and fully understand the situation that you're in at the moment. You can't walk away from conversations just because you're non-confrontational. You can't let this thought fester in your wife's mind. Even if you all the way in the know that you're right, you still have to take that time to stop what you're doing and give them that moment, because that is what you demand when you got something on your mind. That's what you demand when you're trying to get your point across. So I've learned to be more effective in my approach by practicing reciprocity. And in practicing reciprocity, in order to mirror it, you have to understand that if I want you to treat me a certain way, then I got to sit down and ask myself, am I willing to be that same person in a relationship? And if I can get all that down packed, then we're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a good ride. And although the world has seen a lot of conflict with me and Kendra, at the end of the day, man, that's my dog. Me and Ken, we ride out. We rock out, you know what I'm saying? We have our spats on TV. That's TV though. You know what? Just think about this. What if that was our release? What if I told you we don't never damn argue at home, these problems don't ever really come up, but when them cameras come on, we just let it out. Then we leave it down. Then we come back and sit down and watch it together, eating popcorn and shit, you know what I'm saying? People can't fathom that because they like, nah.
They project what they would do.
And it's because it's what you give them. See, I don't blame the people. Yeah. This is why I'm still a part of the people and I can grow in any industry that I've come into, because I still understand what I come from, where I come from. So when I'm on a show and I'm doing something, I know what you at home thinking, boy, you out your damn mind, or bro, I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm able to take that in. And so to be honest with you, man, in this relationship, I have learned patience, communication, and being intentional. Being intentional is very, very, very important. Yeah. It is, homie. I ain't gonna even hold you. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of things that I can talk about, and we'll probably double back, but just the growth and the fortitude. I think oftentimes when people hear and see clips of Funky Friday, it's a lot of dealings with relationships, but the nucleus of that, it's not necessarily relationships, it's what moves you.
Yeah.
Being a provider, being a person who has provision for a lot of people, relationships does matter. And from a wife, from a partner, from a girlfriend, from a fling, from your children, from your businesses, from your career, those relationships have to be compartmentalized in a respect that you have to give that respect, you know, to have balance, so to speak. What's tough at times, I only can speak for me, is when there is an illusion that is caused by outer noise, and dare I say outer noise, because we're human, to operate without the belief that nobody understands or sees, you're a fool.
Right.
But when it starts to penetrate the relationship, that's what causes inflammation that can tarnish, right?
Yeah.
2026 marks exactly 20 years since it's going down. And it's crazy because that was remnants of my high school. That was a staple. Like, we had the CD disc.
Yeah.
You know, club mix, you would label it, you would pull up to the stop sign or the light and flip that down. What y'all boy want to hear? But hold on, you got that shot it I made. That one, why it got so many different colors of Sharpies on it? But shut up, boy.
Yeah.
It got that one in there, boom.
Hold on, bro. Give me that.
Yeah.
Clean that thing off.
And it's skipping, boy. It got too many scratches on there, hoe.
You feel me?
Like, it's going down on Young Jock, for me, is a very nostalgic artist that even when we were having the conversation, you know, off camera, my oldest son don't even really know you on that type of turn.
Right.
You know, what my name is, Shaw. He was the nigga on Tip Drill.
Yeah.
That everybody wanted to see. If I could take this nigga eyeballs and say, go back to that video shoot day.
Yeah, oof.
What didn't make the video?
Yeah.
You don't need the eyeball. I just need 2 hours.
You feel?
You feel me? Yeah. And that right there is something that that's what excites me the most about this interview, because you've been the epitome of the word pivot. Mm-hmm. No matter what, reality TV, okay, cool. The artist, okay, cool. Entrepreneurship, okay, cool. Really, okay, cool. Like so many different things. Radio show, okay, cool. But being that 2026 marks, a very pivotal time for you as an artist, how does that feel?
I think it really shows me like dreams come true. You know what I'm saying? In our era as kids, and I don't know how much older I am than you, Cam.
I'm 36.
Okay, I got you by a deck. All right, so, but there are still in our 2 decades together, or our decade, where we share in age, there were certain commercials you remember seeing. You remember seeing the Army commercials? They tell you be all you can be, Army.
Fortune favors the bold.
Be all you can be.
All that you can be.
Yeah. All right, you remember, it's one commercial that stands out to me the most in that time. It was a McDonald's commercial. And Calvin was walking down the street, and they set it up like 227. Everybody was in the window like 227. Remember the show 227? You that young?
I'm young.
Girl than me?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
with 227, they Jack A, they was out the window talking, and ain't nobody, I ain't heard it from me, So they sitting out the window, and the Calvin walking down the street, and they like, Calvin's got a job. And he happy as hell. He walking to McDonald's. He just happy and smiling. And so when I sit back and I think about 20 years, I'm going to bring it back to that. Yeah. When I walk places, I don't get caught up in the fame. I don't get caught up in my name. I don't get caught up in the success. The nostalgic moment for me, like for you today, is when I'm walking somewhere and they say, look at you still working. It makes me feel like that moment, because when I sit back and think about the very moment I was introduced to the world as young jock, here I am 2 decades later, 20 years later, and I can still eat off of something that I did 2 decades ago. And it's not many things in our lives, in the average human's life, that they can say that has happened if it's not schooling or a child.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I went to school 20 years ago, this education.
This degree still
feeding me. Or I had this child 20 years ago and they became a child star and they feeding me. But what, you know what I'm saying, what else would you have, what other seed could you have planted?
What did you create that can still
bear fruit to this day? And so when I look at that 20 years, I'm just like, man, I just think about Kevin. And because you gotta think, 20 years ago, brother, when I walk up and I see somebody 60, 70, boy, you still out here working. Boy, you looking good. Boy, I remember when you dropped. It's about 20 years ago. You're like, damn, all that, man, on me. Yeah. But then you think, bro, he was 50. You had 50-year-olds. I'm not far from 50 now. So that's like me at almost 50. You
looking
look
at
20
somebody,
years. I'm looking at a little baby like, boy,
you still rocking and rolling.
You know what I'm saying? And so it just makes me feel like that, man. 20 years in, I just think that it's just been a complete blessing. Because as you said, music is not the only thing that has helped sustain my career. And pivoting was a very, very important thing to me, because I've always been a person who, when I'm into it, I am into it. Yeah. But if something else grabs my attention, it got me. And that was something that I pointed out earlier on in my career. Don't be the kid with ADD. Cause that's who I was as a kid. ADD. You could be talking to me about something, I'm off to this and all over the place. That's why I'm able to live in so many dimensions at one time. And when I say live in the dimensions, my different roles that I play on a day-to-day basis. So I'm gonna keep it 100, man. It's just, I think I'm a little bit off. That's why I'm able to do it all.
Man, I shared this wholesome moment a couple weeks ago. I believe it was right before Christmas. And I'm at the counter. All I wanted for Christmas was for me and my lady to go to the mall, and I just wanted to re-up on my cologne. That's it. Over a span of a year, Like, the amount of, hold on. Well, about October time, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying to myself, bro, I'm getting low. So, you know, a lady comes up to me, she was like, let's do something different this Christmas. I'm like, no, we're never, like, this is our ritual. We go to the mall, I get you some, you get me some, and that's it. It's like, we genuinely love people watching.
Right.
She can get whatever she want, I could get whatever I want, but it's just, you know, that essence of still feeling like you can go.
Right.
I go to the mall, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at the counter. I'm not gonna say because they don't pay me. I hear a voice that say, you wanna get the blase blah one. That one hit. It's this nigga job.
Bro, why you gotta look down?
I said, wait, what?
Why you couldn't just look to the left? You
No,
had to look left and down.
because that was my way of saying, all right, bro. Nigga, what's up? You all right? Cool. He said, yo, good. Then he says a soda flex. Man, I got all these, but this one right here, like I got that one. But that one right there, bro, everywhere I go, every city I go to, bro, it don't matter what it is. Everybody gonna ask me.
What you wearing?
What I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I said, which one you pointing to? He said, that one right there. I said, sweetheart, hey, let me get that one right there. I don't even know what it's called, but as I'm spraying it, I'm like, bro, I gotta spray that Jock on. You feel me? This the one that Jock put me on.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that's Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like, you can literally be in Lenox, Phipps.
Yeah.
You could be at dinner. You could be at the club. You could be at the Falcons game, the Hawks game. You could be standing next to an athlete. You could be standing next to a rapper. You could be standing next to a politician. You could be standing next to a stripper. You could be standing next to a scammer. You could be standing next to a principal, a teacher. It's a melting pot of individuals. I did not feel threatened. I did not feel like what's going on. I felt safe. But the calmness that you had, I don't know if it's age, I don't know what it is, but it was just like, nah, bro. I felt like I knew you. Yeah. Cause it was like a friend putting on my blood. That ain't it. Like, which one you got? Like, nah.